Huh. Shit. I don't know what's going on. Hey all y'all! Welcome back to Knit Tea Live, the live stream. Oh, I'm so excited, by the way. I'm very excited because I actually got this started on time. I was not sure if I was going to get this started on time. I thought I might be few minutes late, just because life happening. How's everyone? Make sure you say hi in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Get the conversation going. How's everyone's weekend? Anything exciting going on? Any exciting news in the world? Oh my gosh. I feel like an entire month has gone by in 1 week. It has just been like so much. Hey, Star Pony, welcome! Hello, welcome to Knit Tea Live. Oh my gosh, this week. I promise we won't talk a lot about world events today because we probably all need a break. Hi, Sarah. Welcome from the UK. Thank you for being here. Let's see. I'm in LA, UK. That's an 8-hour time difference. So this is actually, if I'm correct, evening for you. So thank you for joining us on Sunday evening. Hey, Janet. Welcome back to live stream. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm seeing new faces. That's so exciting. I love live stream. By the way, just so you know, I love doing live stream. This is like something I look forward to every week. Hey, Whitney. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, so obviously there have been big events going on in the world. Not going to dwell a whole lot on it if we don't want to. Hey, Bear. But if you feel like you need to say something about the election or what has gone on in the U.S. with the defeat of Trump, party on the street, party on the street, party, 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 party on the street. If you feel the need to celebrate that, you want to celebrate that, this is a safe space to do so. Warm and the leaves are done. Yes. Woohoo! I know. It's oh man. I gotta tell you, like I said, I don't want to dwell too much on this because, we all need a break from the world at times. And I do want this to be that place. At the same time, I always feel like we don't actually live in a bubble. And so I also want to make space at the same time for people to say things that they want or need to say. So I'm just going to say this. Tuesday, as if you've been watching my live streams, you know that I was a text volunteer for the Biden campaign, 2020 Biden campaign. I was one of 50,000 volunteers, but I was also a text mod. So I was one of a few hundred text mods that basically helped answer questions for texters who were speaking with voters and kind of helping them navigate those waters. And I spent a lot of Tuesday, election day, on my computer, just oh, here's something. Here, This will answer your question. Here, this will help. Oh, okay, let me move that up the chain to this area. So I was really busy actually on Tuesday and got to the end. And I knew intellectually that we were not going to have results that night. I knew that. But um, got to the end. Text modding was finished. All I could do was wait. And it was just a really long wait. It was the longest election night ever. And yesterday morning, even though we knew where things were headed, we knew what the vote counts were, we knew that the best morning was when I woke up. I went to bed really late. Was it Thursday night when Biden pulled ahead in the state of Georgia? When that happened, it was like 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning in Los Angeles, and I was like, oh, this is a good news to go to bed to. And then I woke up the next morning and Pennsylvania had flipped over. Biden had overtaken the lead in the state of Pennsylvania. So it was just like, whew, okay, we got this. Now we just have to wait. But it wasn't until yesterday when the Pennsylvania was officially called, when the network started calling Pennsylvania, that I felt like for the first time in really 5 years, because I feel like I've been holding my breath for 5 years, that I felt like I could really breathe in a way that I haven't breathed in 5 years. This has been an incredibly difficult and painful 4 years in the United States. It has at times felt like my country wasn't what I wanted to, not what I wanted it to be, but not what I thought it was. I always knew that there was an issue with racism in the United States. I mean, it's built into the very foundation of this country. In many ways, we've had fits and starts with reckoning with it, but I didn't know it. Just a lot of stuff came up. A lot of stuff came up over the last 4 years. And being Jewish, having a Black daughter, this stuff was incredibly personal for me. So I'm just like, not everything is fixed. There's a lot of work to be done. A lot of healing that needs to take place. And also some hard conversations probably. But I feel like, okay, at least we have some competency and some decency on its way into a really important seat of the government. And so it's like, okay, I can breathe again. So that's how I'm feeling. I'm very excited about it. And yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've spent 4 years pretty much living in a state of anxiety and fear. It's always there. It's always there. And yeah, so that's how I'm feeling today. But unless anybody else has something to say, by the way, I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very excited that there were so many people who got out and vote, no matter where they stood on the political spectrum. I'm really glad that people got out there and got involved, because a healthy democracy requires having a populace that is engaged in the process. And people got out there and voted. And that I'm very excited about. Janet, I'm glad for you, but no more politics, please. I respect that, Janet. I totally do. And we're going to move on from the politics at this point, I promise. So, anyway, we have a very exciting, though, little vote going on. I don't know if you saw on Instagram. The last week, if you were here on the live stream, you helped me pick a Tunisian crochet pattern for me to work on. And this is going to be a somewhat collaborative effort, because I promised last week that I would shop my stash and come up with some color combinations for the pattern. And actually, let me bring up the pattern real quick. I'm going to just come over here on the interwebs. I got to just find it real quick. And then I'll show you the design that I picked out. Together, you helped me pick out. I actually bought 2 patterns, but one is the one that you all voted for. And I mean, it was unanimous. The people who were involved, it was like unanimous. Like, no, get that one. Where's the picture? Here it is. All right. So I'm going to show y'all charts. Sarah, Carrie, have you got any videos on how to read patterns in charts? I do not as of yet, but that is on my list. I do want to do a video specifically on chart reading. And actually, let me get my pen and paper out, all right, for notes. And I'm going to write that down right now. I have a video, tomorrow I'm going to be shooting a video on short rows, but I will put down for the next video after that to do a video on charts, because that is one I've been wanting to do for a while, and I can talk a little bit more generally about reading patterns as well. So thank you for letting me know what it is you're interested in. That is always helpful, because I always want to like provide information that you need, and hopefully, you know, there's different ways of approaching these sorts of explanations to things, and yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought. Thanks. I want to learn how to do them. Yeah, I mean, charts, I love, I should just say right off the top, I love charts and knitting charts. What I love about them is I feel like I have a much better visual idea of what it is, the stitch pattern I'm trying to create, when I'm able to look at a chart as opposed to reading out written directions. But I also know from my own experience that it definitely there's a little bit of a learning curve in terms of wrapping your head around charts. And I know for myself, there was like a few key things that I kind of learned and figured out that once it clicked in my head, I was like, oh, I get what charts are doing. I get how to read this. I get how to think about it. So, and that's been a video that's kind of been on my agenda to shoot, to talk about like my top tips for how to read a chart, a knitting chart. So, and kind of my thought process when I look at charts. Fair, great idea for a video. I'm not very good at reading and following a chart, but I appreciate how you can see how it should kind of look along the way. Yeah, and I think there are a lot of challenging things with charts. I mean, truth be told, the symbols can be feeling like you're like, oh God, it's like this language I don't even know, and like I know when I first started reading charts, there were two things that really kind of would hang me up. One was, what does this symbol mean again? And feeling like I was constantly having to go back up to the key. And so then I felt like kind of my knitting was a little disrupted by that. And the other thing was really wrapping my head around how, depending on whether you're working a right side or a wrong side row, the symbol is telling you something slightly different. But there are two tips that I finally heard and kind of like figured out in my head that got me past that hump. Janet, look at Knit Companion. Yes, I know a lot of people love Knit Companion. I personally have never used Knit Companion. If you've watched any of my knit teas, you know I'm kind of like analog when it comes to my knitting. I'm very like, I don't want to deal with an app. I deal with apps all the time. I just give me a piece of paper and a pen. Give me my stitch markers. But you know, everybody needs to find the tools that work for them for their knitting. So, okay, so this was the desktop. Yeah. This is the pattern that last week I purchased at Glory Design. She is a Tunisian crochet designer, and she had a big sale last weekend. All of her patterns were on sale. The sale is no longer happening, but this is the pattern that everybody, and I mean like everybody, was like, that's the one to get. So I was like, okay, the people have spoken. So what I did was this weekend, let me come over here to my Instagram. Or not even this weekend. This week I shopped my stash and I put together like 4 combinations of yarns, and I put those up on my Instagram and let people vote. And Twitter. I put it up on Twitter and Instagram and had people vote on what they thought I should use for for my pattern. And let me just bring up that photo right now. That's what I'm clicking around on. Desktop share. So these were the four choices. All right. On Instagram and Twitter. And it's really interesting because there was definitely a sort of I put the Instagram vote both up on my story. I asked a question on story, and then I had the Instagram post itself. And what's really interesting was the people who commented on the Instagram story, it was kind of there were a lot of people who voted for choice number 1, which is gorgeous. I love this color combination. These are all cotton yarns, by the way. And I love this color combination. And I don't know if you can really tell in this live stream, but if you go to my Instagram, the middle hank is a purple and blue variegated yarn, and it's a tencel cotton, and it's gorgeous. And people who commented, I think Whitney, this was your choice. I would have voted 3, but I also really liked 2. Yeah. But people who commented on the Instagram story, there were people who voted for 2, there were people who voted for 3, but overwhelmingly, people kind of went with number 1. But on the Instagram post itself, things were very evenly divided between choices 2 and 3. And then on Twitter, I got even more choices, or more votes. One person really liked 4. Nobody really was into 4. I loved 3, but Sarah, yeah. So, I am now going to reveal to you the top 2 vote getters from the Instagram and the Twitter post. Let me get them lined up here. And today we are going to look at these 4 choices. 2 choices. There's 2 choices. And you're going to tell me which one you like best. And you got to pick one. Okay? And I understand this might be tough. It's tough for me too. This is a really tough choice because they're both gorgeous and beautiful. But yeah, Whitney, I gravitate towards purples and blue. I do too. I'm very much in the green, blue, purple half of the color wheel. That's more my. I mean, I love. Well, I don't always love yellow. Yellow is not always my favorite. Like the right shade of yellow is fine, but yellow is the one where I sit there and like. But I love all color, but I definitely gravitate more towards like purples and greens and blues. So anyway, here are the 2 choices. Y'all get to tell me what you think and which one I should use for the Tunisian crochet project. So let me just make sure. Oops. Sorry. Okay, so here it is. Oops. Oh, let me turn on the light too so you can see him better. It's a little dark. There we go. Okay. Let me expand this out. Whoops. So these are the 4 hanks. And the 2 color choices, this was choice number 2. This was choice number 3, right? Which is this blue. This is, let me bring this underneath. You can really see this kind of blue. It's very much like a dark teal kind of color. What is the name of it? Dark teal. It's called dark teal. Oh, sorry. I'm going to there we go. So this is the dark teal. And then there's this yarn here, which, that's pretty true. You can see it. And this kind of stone gray brown color. And I feel like this is a very gorgeous combination. This hank here, this yarn in the middle, it's a light blue. This is actually a silk and cashmere. This is a silk and cashmere blend. So it just really has this gorgeous shimmer to it, this depth of color that is amazing. And I think it just works so well off of this dark teal and then this brown. And just so you can kind of visualize in your head, okay. I'm going to bring this up real quick. I'm going to show you again the pattern. Right? And you can't see it. Let me see if there's another photo. Okay, so if you look at the photo here, you can see there is this border up on the top, and this dark teal is what I would use for that border. So this dark teal would just only be a very little bit. And then the brown would be this gray chevron section, and then the is what I'm thinking. And then the blue would be the diamonds in the step up pattern. So that's my thought process for this color. So this would be the border. This would be the sort of diamond. This is an entrelac pattern, so this would be the diamond, and this would be the kind of chevron colors. That's my thinking. So that's option number 1 now. Overhead. There we go. So this is option number 1 now. The other option, which I'm also very drawn to, put it this way. This is the other option. This is the green option. And it's still using this brown in the chevron portion of the pattern, but this green would be the diamonds, and then this brown I would have in the border. So those are kind of the two sort of trying to think of, oh, this is how I should do it. There we go. So this is option 1, and this is option 2, the blue option or the green option. And both options have this obviously grayed out brown. This is called stone brown. So let me know what you think. I'm waiting with bated breath. I will say that the votes online, I feel like were pretty evenly divided between these two options. Maybe there was a slight lean towards the more blue. Sarah, blue, I say. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it is. And this, I've been looking for something to do with this yarn for so long. I only have one hank of this, and Bear, too. So the green option. Bear's voting for the green option. Okay. Oh, guys, did you hear Alex Trebek passed away? Have a moment. We'll have a moment. Alex Trebek passed away. He was the host for many, 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 many years. Star Pony, blue. So we have three votes for blue, one vote for the green. Let's see, there's 1, 2, that's 4 votes. 4 votes. Yes, so sad. I know. It is. It's sad. 2020 has been hard. There's a lot of, it's so interesting. Every year, it feels like every year we lose people who meant a lot to us for one reason or another. Famous people. But it does feel like some years hit us harder than others, and I feel like 2020 has had like a lot of big losses. So all right, so I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna switch the camera. If anybody else wants to say, I'm gonna switch to this. There we go. So I'm gonna just leave these here for right now. Up, if anybody else has anything to say about these color combinations in the next few minutes, and by the end of this live stream, we will make a choice. It's not even about I will make a choice. We will collectively make a choice. I'm going to admit I'm very torn between the two. I'm very torn, but it does seem consensus is the blue. Which, yeah, I totally see that, because this is so gorgeous. I don't think I'm really going to go wrong with either option. By the way, let me put this brown underneath a little bit better. It's a very chocolatey brown. So, and by the way, well, let's not confuse things. Let's not get crazy here. Alrighty. So, in the meantime, who is ready for a little pattern spotlight? You want to do a little pattern spotlight? I think so. Bear. The green and brown would also look good in other pattern you got. Yes, that is so true, Bear. That is an excellent point. And I do have, you mean this green and brown, the dark brown and the green? Well, really either one. You could really go either green and the stone brown or the dark brown. You're right. And I'm pretty sure I've got plenty of both of these that I could do this with the other pattern. Yeah, that's such a great point. Just Yeah. Let me show you the other pattern I bought last week so that you know what Bear and I are talking about. Uh, oh, I love this pattern so much. But let me show you the other pattern. And maybe that's the way I get the win-win. I love that. That's such a great point, Bear. I wasn't even thinking about that. And I think I might get the best of both worlds this way. But this is the other pattern that I got. And I have been like, oh, you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I think decision made. I think decision made. We are going to use the green and the brown, dark brown, for this project that I have up on the screen right now. And then use the blue combination for this pattern that's up on the, so that's what we're going to do. Oh my gosh, I have to say, this has been so much fun. It's been really fun kind of sharing this journey with all y'all so far. I'm going to have to think about other ways to do this sort of collaborative project because I think it's been super fun doing this. I hope you all are enjoying it as much as I am. So yeah. So who is ready for a little bear? The green and brown in the merge left pattern reminds me of a crop fields in spring. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be really pretty. It's true. I see what you're saying there. All right. Let's get over here. Not a huge update. This last fiber happened. It was so late. I was so late with fiber happenings this last Friday, but I got it in under the wire. Well, at least my time. No, at least in the US. I got it up in time, but it was late. It was definitely late. It's because I literally woke up Friday and I was like, oh crap, it's Friday. I totally forgot it was Friday. That's what happened. Okay, so make sure I'm down here. But there definitely is a pattern. There were definitely updates on Pattern Spotlight. So if y'all like to see what's new this week, what new pattern releases there are, we are definitely getting into the holiday knit feelings. You'll see what I mean in just a second as we go into Pattern Spotlight. Okay, there we go. Oh, I do this every time. There we go. I gotta remove that because every time I click on the wrong thing. All right, so first up we have a bee in the bonnet, the ginger snap hat. And I gotta say, I love this pattern. Let me click over to her Etsy store. This is by Lauren Rad. She is a designer actually in Ventura, California. So she actually lives kind of north of me. And her aesthetic is very like English rose, high tea, and it's so soothing. Her whole aesthetic, everything she does, like not just her patterns, but how she photographs the patterns. I'm just like, there are times I'm like, I want to feel soothed and relaxed and comfy, and I'll just look at her photos. But this is the hat. This is the ginger snap hat. And oops, there we go. I'm gonna just leave my mouse alone so you can really, really see it. And this pattern is really interesting because from what I can tell, what this looks like to me is that this is really kind of alternating columns of waffle stitch. And waffle stitch is a knit purl kind of rib-like pattern with this eyelet pattern in between. And it's just so, and the color of the yarn itself, it's so perfect, but it's just really, really gorgeous. And it's a kind of slouchy beanie, according to her description. This is what the crown looks like. Looking at the crown, that looks like there might be a little bit of a swirl to it, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong about that. But that's the crown. And yeah, it's really, really pretty. So that is on her Etsy store, and it is, I believe, until the end of today, 15% off. So if you're interested in this pattern and you're like, ooh, I think I'd really like to have that for the fall, like now's the time. And what she describes it is, this pattern for a knit hat is full of texture with columns of oversized loopy stitches and rows of pearls. Skill level. what did she say about it? That it's, sorry, I'm like scrolling here. This hat pattern is one of my spicier patterns to date, but I promise it's still a pretty mellow knit. It has an all-over texture that repeats every 6 rounds and is highly memorizable. There we go. So, and I can see that. And this to me is one of those types of patterns where it's so gorgeous and it looks like it's really complicated, but then when you start doing it, you realize that it's very like just pretty straightforward knit techniques. And that's one of my favorite things with knitting always are patterns that look like they're far more involved than what they actually are. Because it's just simple elegance. And that's really Lauren Rad's A Bee in Her Bonnet, A Bee in a Bonnet. Her whole aesthetic is very much like just elegant, casual elegance. Next up is Amy Snell, the Devious Knitter. And she has this pattern up for mini stockings. So these are little mini Christmas stockings. And right, the first picture in the upper left-hand corner are 3 stockings. One is white with a green heel, toe, and cuff. The second one is a red, green, and white stripe with a, well, it's a green and white stripe with a red contrasting cuff, heel, and toe. And the third one is a green sock with a contrasting white heel, toe, and cuff. And you can see them lined up over on the other picture that's in the upper right-hand corner. These are adorable, these little mini stockings. And the pattern includes with it instructions for shadow wrap, short row heels, jogless stripes in the round, casting on for toe-up socks, and incorporating an I-cord hanger. And the pattern has instructions for scaling this up. So if you want a full-size stocking to hang by your fireplace with care, you can size up this pattern. And I think these are adorable little decorations that you could totally use if you were going to make a wreath, or you could string a bunch of them together and have a little garland, or you could hang them up on your Christmas tree as an ornament, and maybe even like hang them up on your Christmas tree with a little ornament and stuff little things in those. And I think this is also like just a really nice little holiday gift that you could give to coworkers or teachers or friends that would be very quick to knit up. And this type of project is a great use of any kind of like scrap yarn that you might have, like, you know, that half used, 3/4 used ball of yarn where it's like, wow, this is a lot of yarn left over. What am I going to do with it one day? This is the type of project that uses up that type of yarn so well, and it's so helpful. The green and brown on the merged left pattern, Sarah, you have my sock pattern. You have my socks pattern? Videos. I'm sorry, Sarah, I'm not quite understanding what you were saying with the sock pattern videos. Sorry, I'm not, sorry. So that is Amy Snell's design. She has a pay-hip store where her designs are available. She also does online classes, so I think it's a great idea to check out her website and sign up for her newsletter to see if there's anything like online classes or patterns that are coming up of hers that you may be interested in. Next up, we have Ro and Katie's, and she also has a mini Christmas stocking pattern. And I think this is such a great idea because she is using them as cutlery holders. I mean, like, I don't really celebrate Christmas because I'm Jewish, but if I did celebrate Christmas, oh my God, I would knit these up and have these on my table and stuff the cutlery in them. I think this is just so adorable. I can't even get over this use of them. Her pattern comes both with the striped and a cabled version. So you really are getting 2 kind of patterns in one with this. And let's look at the Etsy store for more photos, because we love the photos. We love the photos. We love the photos. I love the photos. But yes, this is it. She also says that you can like string these together to make like a little garland. Um, and yeah, these are just adorable. They're adorable. I mean, what else can I say? They're really double adorable. And it looks like that's a turned down cuff. And unlike Amy Snell's pattern uses a short row heel, but this pattern I can see uses a flap and gusset. So the Amy Snell pattern is a toe up sock, and this looks like it is a cuff down sock. So there are differences. If you have a preference for toe up versus cuff down, you have two pattern options for you. How great is that? That is awesome. So the cabled one is so cute. Yeah, it really is adorable. I don't know how to make knitted socks. Oh, but easy patterns if you have any videos on it. Yes, so sock knitting is its own like beautiful special thing. I have a couple of videos on knitting heels. I have one on knitting my favorite type of short row heel for socks. Truth be told, let's just have a little combo. Let me go here. All right, so truth be told, sock knitting is really interesting because there are people who really most of what they do is sock knitting, and it's really fun kind of knitting. And it's what's really stop, think, use your words. Sock knitting is one of those types of project where it's really not that complicated, right? And it actually makes a really great blank canvas for all sorts of stitch patterns that you may want to play around with. The big thing with sock knitting is the heel construction, because all a sock is at the end of the day, it's a tube for your leg, and then there's a tube for your foot, and those two tubes get connected with a heel. And that heel, though, has to bend, right? And so that's where all sort of the variation between various socks, a lot of the variation happens in that heel construction. So there are different types of heels. So I have two videos. One is on my favorite type of short row heel, which is called the boomerang or yo-yo heel. And then the second type, the second video I have is on a heel construction called the strong heel. So I will say though, I don't yet have videos on how to knit a basic sock, but Very Pink Knits, who's been on YouTube for a very long time, she, I believe, does have videos on how to knit a basic vanilla sock. So if you're interested in exploring sock knitting, that might be something worth checking out. And if you're interested in exploring sock knitting, these types of little mini stockings, or even doing a large size stocking, is a really good introduction to it, because the truth is, Christmas stockings are a sock. It is the exact same type of construction as a sock you wear on your foot. So, yeah. Sarah, I'm going to be honest. I'm feeling a little bit like, okay, I see where all the holes are right now. But, you know, my YouTube channel's is almost a year old. I have to double check, but sometime last November is when I uploaded my new video. So, I am a newer channel. I am a newer channel. So, let's go back to the desktop share. And we will take a look at, yes, this is our last new pattern for the week. This is from Sarah Dawn Design, longtime friend to Fiber Happenings and the Fiber Indie List. She, by the way, does live stream on Twitch at least twice a week. And this is her latest pattern. This is her crochet pattern. Sarah Dawn, she does both knit and crochet patterns, and this is a crochet pattern. It's a hat. It's a, you know, a nice lacy beanie hat. And we'll go over to the Etsy store to get some closer look at the photos. And what I think is really cool about this hat is that it has these little baubles in it. And if you are into crochet, if you do crochet, knitting baubles sometimes isn't always the most fun. in my opinion. But crocheting baubles is super fun. And that is what attracts me to this pattern, is these baubles that are in it. So yeah, that is from Sarah Dawn Designs. And she also, let me close this up. She has a sale going on. I'm scrolling very quickly right now. These are all designs from the past week that I still have up. Getting down to the sales. She's having a sale on this scarf. It's the 50% off her McCaskill scarf pattern. And it is a cabled scarf pattern, and I just think this is lovely. Let's look at it on the Etsy store so that we can really like zoom in on some of the photos. But here we go. There. So it is kind of this asymmetrical cable pattern. I think it's really cool the way these cables travel. And if you are into cable knitting, this scarf is like definitely something that I think would be a lot of fun to knit. And it is on sale right now for, how much is it off? Oh, geez, I'm gonna have to click back over here. 50% off. This pattern is 50% off. There is no coupon code for this sale on Etsy. So yeah, it's adorable. And that is all of the patterns for Pattern Spotlight this week. Anything catch your eye? Anything that you're like, ooh, that's so cute? Maybe. Let me know. Man, I'm just moving through everything quickly today. I'm like being so efficient. So, I have about 15 minutes left in the live stream. Let me open it up to you guys and let's, ask me anything. You can ask me anything that you would like. Do you guys want to see, while I see if you have to ask me anything, let me show you the progress I've made on spinning my own yarn. If you've been following my channel, you know that I recently attended drop spindling, and I'm going to grab that over here. Dropped it. Oh. Oh, it smells so good. It smells so good. So, I need it. Oops. Oh, okay. So this is how much I've spun so far. Yes. So I've gotten a good long. I feel like I've gotten a good long ways into this. I should weigh it. I have no idea how much I've spun at this point. I'm gonna go over to this now. And I need that one. Yeah. I have no idea how much I've spun thus far. But I feel like I've spun a good amount, considering I've never done this before. And I'm definitely seeing improvement in my consistency. So I'm going to unhook this. I mean, I'm still not totally consistent. Let me put it, there we go. There we go. Hopefully you can see. Trying to figure out how to get enough light so that you can see it better, but not so much light that it's like blasted out. So that, I think I'm getting way more consistent with my spinning. Like, that right there is a good run. Now that I'm looking at it, that is like a good run of yarn. So I'm getting better. I'm getting a better feel of it. I'm getting a better feel of like how much twist to add. The whole thing. I'm getting far fewer like thick sections. Like, I feel like I've really figured out how much to like draft the wool before I start like working the twist up into it. Fair. Yay, you're doing it. I'm doing it. I know. Oh, here's a thick section. This is something I have to figure out. This is where I think it's definitely where I added more wool in to spin, but it might have broken. And this is where I'm still figuring out how to add in the wool without necessarily getting like a thick section like this. So that is definitely something that I'm figuring out. But I'm very pleased with how this is going now. When I first started, I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get this. Oh, is that gonna break? Don't break on me. Don't break on me. I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna figure this out. I don't know if I'm ever really. I don't know what I got myself into. But now I'm like going, yeah, I'm doing it. I mean, I may never be an expert spinner. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, gee, see this section. This section. I added in yarn, or I added in fiber right here. Oh, I know where I'm at. Okay, so I'm back towards the beginning. Okay, I know what's going on here. Yeah. So that is where I am with spinning the wool. I have to say, I do find, let me turn that live off. I do find it is very relaxing. It is very relaxing and meditative doing the drop spinning. And in some ways, I'm surprised how quickly I feel like I'm getting sort of a feel for it. Because honestly, I mean, when I shot the video, Carrie does what? Where I was doing the spinning the wool for the first time. When I shot that video, at the end of it, I was trying to maintain a positive attitude, but I was also feeling kind of discouraged, where I was just like, I know this is what it feels like when you start a new craft, and this is all perfectly normal, but there was another part of me that was just going, God, like, really? Am I, like, am I ever really going to get anything consistent, anything to hold together, that doubt. We all have that moment, right? When we start a new craft and you have that moment of doubt where you're like, I don't know. I don't know. And then I'm like sitting there going, Carrie, you know what you always say in your videos? You always say patience, persistence, and practice. So you got to just be patient with yourself. Keep practicing, be persistent. And now I'm like in that spot of like, okay, my persistence is paying off. Yay, I'm getting some consistency. Yay, I'm doing it. I'm sure later on when I finish this, I will be like, okay, I see everything wrong that I did if I keep up with this. But at the same time, it is fun. It is fun to learn something new, but it's also fun to see what you can be capable of doing if you stick with it. Bear, I struggle with joins too. They come out a bit messy and thicker than the rest of the yarn. That's good to know. I appreciate you sharing that with me, Bear, because I think it always helps. It always helps when you realize, okay, it's not just me. I'm not alone in this. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Seriously though, if anybody has any questions, we've got about 12 minutes left, and you can ask me anything. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. So, while we're waiting, because dead air is not good air. Oh, by the way, coffee. Exciting news. I'm very close to 400 subscribers, which I am very excited about. It's so interesting. Like I said, I'm almost up to a year. I posted my first video, which is hard to believe. I've been doing this now for a year. Time flies. And that I'm almost up to 400 subscribers is kind of amazing to me. And especially because, I mean, when I first started, there would be a whole day where maybe one person would watch a video. 2 people would maybe watch a video. It took about 8 months, I think, before I had 8 or 10 months before I had 100 subscribers. It was now, though, like, I can see the pace of people subscribing more quickly. And now, like, almost anytime I look at my analytics, I can see there's somebody watching. Like, every hour, there's at least one person. And so it is really kind of cool and amazing to see, like, oh, okay, I'm still real small potatoes. I'm still really microscopic on the YouTube radar, but like I'm getting views and people are watching, and hopefully it's helping people, and it's really exciting. Sarah, do you have a Facebook channel to show you what we are making? I have a Facebook page. I do. It's Knits Where It's At. I do have a Facebook page. I have a Facebook group that I've never, for Knits Where It's At, that I've never done anything with. I just sort of created it, but if people are interested, I can start trying to make that a more active thing. Although part of me has been wanting to leave Facebook, so I don't like, but I haven't committed to that, so why not? But yeah, definitely check out my Facebook page. You can find all my social media is linked down in the description box, including the Facebook page. On Facebook, it's Knits Where It's At. Excuse me. On Twitter, I am at Knits Where It's At. On Instagram, I am Carrie_CraftGeek. But yeah, all of that is down in the description box. So, and I would love to see what you guys are working on and like share that together. By the way, yes, please, I can show you what I made. Oh, I'd love to see it. Absolutely. Okay, so let's make that more of a thing. Let's make that more of a thing. And you know what? I can also, because I've been thinking about this Tunisian crochet project, because I can do Tunisian crochet, but I am not as much of a master of Tunisian crochet. I don't even know if I'm a master of knitting. Like, I think I'm more knowledgeable than some. I'm not as knowledgeable as others. I just have a lot of opinions that I'm willing to share about knitting. But I mean, I run into things with knitting all the time where I'm like, no, I haven't done that. Oh, I need to look into that and try that next. But that's the thing I love. One of the things I love about crafting and knitting in general is I do feel like it's lifelong learning. And the thing that gets me excited, like we all go through it, right? We all go through those times with our crafting, with our knitting, whatever, where we're feeling less inspired. We've lost our mojo. Whenever I've lost my mojo, what always brings me back is when I go, ooh, oh, I could try that. I haven't tried that technique, or I haven't tried that type of knitting, or I haven't done this yet. Let me try that. That's inspired me. And that is when I'm like off to the races again with knitting. And there's always something, and I love that about knitting. There's always, oh my God, I got fur in my eye. I'm pretty sure I've got roving in my eye. Little wool. But yes. So, yes, go over to my page, give it a like, and the group is connected to it. I know Bear, you asked to join, and I think I will send out. I'm going to make it happen. Make sure that you like my Facebook page, and I will invite you into the group. And we will start making that more of a thing. But in terms of the Tunisian crochet, I really do kind of want to share that journey with people in terms of me working on that project, because I will be stretching my skills with it, because it's going to be that the step up pattern involves entrelac. Now, I know how to do entrelac with knitting. I've done entrelac patterns, but I have never done entrelac with anything else, like with any kind of crochet. So I'm definitely going to be stretching my skills, and if that is something that you are really wanting to see more of, I can journal it more there, probably. I don't love journaling that sort of thing on Instagram, and yeah. Sarah, I know some Tunisian crochet. Cool. Then hopefully you might have some tips and hints for me, and that'd be great, and we can all share knowledge together, because like, I think we all have something to learn from one another. And one of the things I always love about doing live stream is I feel like it's a chance for all of us to kind of like learn from one another and get together once a week. And I've learned like from you guys all sorts of things and tips and ideas, and you guys inspire me all the time. You really do. And I'm just really excited to see that this little community is growing. Really excited by new people who have shown up today. It would be nice to see more folks. You know what though? Honestly, somewhat that is on me, because I don't plug the Facebook group, and I don't make that happen. I have not made that Facebook group happen. So that is somewhat on me. Not somewhat. That is on me. But we can start. And hey, like, I invite you to the Facebook group. If you have friends or whomever, please bring them into the group. Share. That's how it grows. Deep breath. Sometimes I feel like, Carrie, take a breath. It's okay. So the upcoming week, as you know, I did not upload a video this past week, which is good because I don't even think I was capable of editing this past week. But I did shoot some stuff. I have shot some stuff. I don't know exactly the order that I'm going to load everything up, but this is what is upcoming. One, you may have remembered a while back that I showed off that kind of it was going to be a scarf. Now I'm making it into a cowl that has knit pearl combination. I'll put a photo of it up on Instagram. But a few weeks ago, I said that I was going to kind of shoot me finishing the project. And I have shot the video where I weave in the ends and I wash and block it. In fact, it's out on my dining table right now, drying. So that video, I'm just thinking, may not be the next video up, but it could be very soon. It's probably going to come up very soon. Then I also have, if you remember from other live streams, the blanket that my friend asked me to try to repair. I have figured out that yes, what the yarn is, and I did some tests on camera, including a fire test. I went ahead and did the burn test, and I shot that. So I am going to be putting that up on YouTube, my testing out that yarn to verify the fiber. That might be next Friday's video. It's a little bit, I burned yarn for science. Please, if you ever decide to do the burn test, make sure that you do your own research on how to do that safely. Do not rely on anything that I did because I am not an expert on fire safety. I'm always going to put that caveat out there. But if you want to see me do the burn test, let me know because I have that video. Then tomorrow I am going to be shooting, finally, a video on short rows where I'm going to talk about, I'm going to tell you the title right now. It's going to be Knitting Secrets Revealed, the truth about short rows. They're all the same, basically. It's true. And I'm going to explain what I'm talking about in that video. I have it all planned out on how I'm going to discuss it. And I'm going to be shooting that tomorrow. Then I think I'm going to do that video on charts. So yeah, that's kind of what is coming up in the next few weeks. And of course, we're always going to be having live streams. Live streams happen every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock p.m. in the UK. Excuse me. What else? I think that's everything. I can't believe it. I might actually finish on time. Normally I go like 10 minutes late, but I'm very excited about this yarn choices. And again, shout out to Bear for pointing out that I can actually use the green for the other Tunisian crochet project. And yeah, as always, let me know if you're watching on the replay. Oh, but I needed to remember. Should have done it at the beginning. I always forget. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you give the live stream a thumbs up. If you're watching on the live stream, let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Please be part of the conversation in the chat below, and make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Giving videos thumbs up lets YouTube know that I am a channel worth checking out. Yeah. And make sure that you are subscribed and that you do hit the notification bell, because subscribing to my channel makes sure that when you go to your YouTube homepage, you see me. But hitting the notification bell is what will alert you when I upload a new video or I start a live stream. So you never miss a thing. You also can never miss a thing if you go to my social media. So if you're on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. If you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. And of course, I have the Facebook page, knitswhereit'sat.com, and we will work on getting that Facebook group more active. Also, I know that I've talked about this for a while, the knit along for the glove. I have not forgotten about it. I just need to write the pattern up. So I know I kind of put a goal in November. We are now in November. Maybe we start it near the end of November. I know. I know. I've been really remiss, but it's been a very busy time with everything that's been going on and stuff that I've been doing. So, yeah. What else? I think that's everything. I think that's everything for today. Thank you so much for joining me here at Nitty Live. I hope you had a great. I'm sorry. I'm having a really hard time talking today. My brain is just a little like fuzzy today. But thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed today's live stream. I hope that you have a great rest of your weekend and the week ahead. I hope to see you on my social media. And I think that's everything. Oh, I gotta do the thing. I do this every week. Okay, there we go. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And as always, happy health and happy knitting. Bye.